I'm Brian Winnekins, and we are at NAFB convention in Kansas City, and our broadcasts from Kansas City being brought to you by Annabis Silo of Duran, the Animal Wellness Center of Buffalo Valley, the Ann Thompson Insurance Agency, BASF, Growth Energy, and Comro Sales and Service. I am with the Cinch Munson. He is with the Propane Education and Research Council. Talk a little bit about propane today, and Cinch, thanks for joining us. Last January, this past January, it got really interesting in the propane industry with the $4, $5 spikes in propane fuel, especially in the upper Midwest. What is the crystal ball showing us for this year? It doesn't look like it's going to happen again this year, right?
Yeah, as we look at this year, right now, things look positive. Propane storage, the propane in storage is above 5-year averages, so the amount of propane available looks good. Last year, grain drying was record level. Don't expect to see as much grain drying this year. Weather's been good. Farmers have let a lot of their grain dry in the field a little more. It's kicking into high gear now, but we don't see as much grain drying this year. Temperatures last year were extremely cold. Energy and Information Administration does not project that our temperatures are going to be as cold this year. And then last year we had some transportation and supply issues in certain areas. As an industry, we've seen businesses in the industry, do what they can to increase their capacity to store and transport propane, whether it's adding storage capacity, adding rail cars, or adding transports to move the propane. As an industry, we've upped our capacity. And then on top of that, we did a consumer campaign this winter encouraging consumers to fill their tanks early, get set up for automatic refills. And we've seen that happen. People filled their tanks early, which had the effect of pulling more propane into those regions. So right now, as you look at the overall picture, compared to last year, it's very positive.
Is that the two big factors really has been the increase in capacity? I know in Wisconsin they've really done that, not only on the co-op side, but really even on the farm side. Everywhere you look, it seems like the farms have more storage capacity than before. And also the big push to get folks like myself who have propane for our home to do that summer fill.
Yeah, it's all been important, and it's worked well. People fill early. Again, it has that effect of pulling the propane into the regions where it's needed. Marketers get those signals and know, hey, I'm going to need extra propane. After what happened last year, a lot of the marketers, they set up to say, hey, I'm going to need extra propane this year, and I know I'm going to have to get it to where it needs to be. So, yeah, across the board, I think everybody's stepped up and put us in a good situation for where we sit today.
Transportation is a big issue, not only for the propane industry, it has been for the grain industry. It has been really even for the county highway department trying to get salt in. It seems like especially with the rail system, the railroads, they're doing everything they can to keep up, but it just seems like this North Dakota oil has really kind of thrown the rail transportation system all kind of upside down for a lot of industries. Propane the same?
Yeah, it is. We rely on rail transport like many other products, so it is key. Like I say, our distributors and our marketers are doing what they can to get it where it needs to be on time. But yeah, rail congestion, and then you throw on the unpredictable weather sometimes and what that can mean. It's always a risk, and it's something that we as an industry do our best to mitigate.
What are some of the other things that the Research Education Council trying to do to help mitigate some of these other issues? Just some more education with consumers and lawmakers and industry representatives to try and get everybody on the same page. Is that really the big focus?
As an industry, at PERC, and as an industry, we're continuing to talk to our customers and reach out to them and work with them to make sure their needs are met. Whether it's PERC or MPGA, the National Propane Gas Association, we're continuing to look at supply. So that's important. The other thing we do at PERC is through our research portion of our mission is work with manufacturers to develop new equipment that uses propane more efficiently. And whether we're looking at irrigation engines that, new irrigation engines are saving farmers fuel and saving them 50% the cost to run compared to a diesel engine, or grain dryers. New grain dryers are 50% more efficient than old grain dryers. New heating units. That's all part of the equation of how we can continue to grow demand for propane, but grow it with efficient and safe equipment.
Well, again, Cinch, we appreciate you joining us today.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Cinch Munson, he is with the Propane Education and Research Council from NAFB. I'm Brian Winnick.